Hello, and welcome back to my 30 videos in 30 days series. Today I'm going to make an elder wand. If you'd like to see how it's done, please stick around. Now that the dowel is tapered, I can cut it to its final length. I originally cut this to 18 inches long, even though the elder wand is 15 inches long. The first inch and a half gets damaged by the chuck of the drill, and then even the first inch or so after that is hard to get to the belt sander to start to taper. So I find it's easier to make it about 3 inches too long and then cut the 3 inches off after you've got the rest of it tapered. Wands are one of the items I enjoy making the most, mainly because of just the fantasy of them. It's fun to be able to make something that doesn't really exist. I'm going to use this 2-part water weld. Epoxy that's kind of it's a putty type consistency. You knead the two together, and in about 15 or 20 minutes it sets up fairly hard, and within an hour it's like rock hard. Today's project was going great, up until this moment. That yellow spray paint, here it is on the clamp that was holding it 23 hours later, still wet. I don't know why, it never dried. It got tacky, it got sticky, but it never dried. I was kind of at a standstill. Late last night, early this morning, it was like 3:30 in the morning. I was flustered. It was still tacky. I knew I wasn't going to be able to finish it the way I wanted to. Even though it was still tacky, I put one coat of gel stain on it, hoping I could then set my alarm, get up this morning, and have something to work with. It's still sticky now. I can still just, I can't really touch it now. If I do touch it, the finish is going to come off of my hands. I should have done nothing. I should have left it yellow. I don't know. I expect spray paint to dry within 23 hours, I guess is what it comes down to. This video is late because of paint. Not because the wand didn't work, not because the water weld didn't work. So that's why when I decided I should just put out this video about how to build a wand using this water weld. Because I've made wands quite a few different ways, and this, I wouldn't call this a failure, even though my first attempt with it failed within the time slot that I had to make the wand. I've made wands quite a few different ways, and that's what I'd like to talk about for the rest of this video. Luna Lovegood has 2 wands. Her first wand is a very basic wand. I make this wand using a wood burner. It's quite simple. I'm not the greatest with a wood burner. It's not my prettiest wands. I can make one of these wands in 20 or 30 minutes start to finish, and it's a fun wand to make. Luna Lovegood's second wand I made using air-baked clay. Air-baked clay was great to work with, all the open time in the world, to get the shape, to get the texture that you want. Then you put it in your oven, and then it hardens. So you have a long working time. It's kind of heavy. What I don't like about this is this air-baked clay is kind of heavy. This wand isn't the lightest wand I've made. Luckily, all the weight is in the handle, so when you're holding it as a wand, it actually feels quite balanced. Yeah, the center of gravity is right here in the middle, in the base of the tulip. I like the air-baked clay. I liked working with the air-baked clay. I think it's a great medium to make a wand with. It's a very affordable medium and doesn't require any special tools. And as for the taper of the wand, if you started out with a smaller dowel, I think you could go without the taper, or maybe just taper a couple inches of the end using a palm sander and your drill, and end up with a very, very similar look. Especially with a wand like this that has the adornments on it. They get larger as you go. Will make your eye think that it's getting larger, even if from this point on it's the same size. This is Hermione Granger's wand. I start out by tapering a dowel, but instead of using a wood burner, I take string soaked in fiberglass resin and I wrap it around the wand to make a vine. And then I take either cardboard or egg carton and cut out little leaves, super glue them on, paint over them with the same fiberglass resin, and what I get is a wand that looks like has a vine carved into it, when in truth it's just added on top afterwards. These wands are quite easy to make. This is a really fun wand to make. It comes out really well each time I've made it, and it's a really easy medium to work with. When you're working with clay, it's how well can you shape the clay and trying to hold the wand without damaging the clay parts that you have the shape you want while trying to shape another part. It's a little bit trickier, I think. This definitely took some finesse. I took a lot of time with this. These are pretty easy to make. And that brings me to the Elder Wand. When I spray painted this Elder Wand with the yellow paint, my idea was to next use a gel stain and coat it with the gel stain and then dry brush that off. So the gel stain just stayed in the holes, just stayed in the cracks. Then I was going to take the gel stain and thin it with mineral spirit. So it was somewhere between 50-60% mineral spirits, 40-50% gel stain, and then paint 2-3 light coats of that wash coat over the top until the whole wand had the color that I wanted. Being the paint underneath never dried, I just put on a coat of gel stain on top just to get something to show how the wand was made using this water weld. This water weld, not nearly as easy to work with as the clay in some aspects. It was stickier, and from the time you mixed it to the time it got unworkable was really about 10 or 12 minutes. So you had to work fast. You couldn't sit there and smooth something out, not like it, tear it off, put it back on. Well, you could tear it off and use more of it. So once it starts to harden up, if you're not getting a shape, you tear that part off, throw it in the garbage, and get some more. I used almost the whole tube. This is all I have left, and the tube was just over $4. The dowel was under $1. So you're at about $5 plus paint. You could very easily make this wand for $8 if you included a can of spray paint in it. I'm going to make more wands like this. I'm going to make another one of Luna's second wands using the water weld to see what the weight of it is. Because I believe that the water weld is going to be lighter weight than the clay. And I'd like the wand to be as lightweight as possible. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please hit that subscribe button. Until next time, peace.